In today's video, we're going to be going over why the pressure is so high on Baker Mayfield this weekend in the NFL playoffs. But also find out, do I think that moving on from Carson Wentz in Philadelphia is actually the right decision? Stay tuned. Welcome to Critical Condition. My name is Jose, and I love to talk about sports way too much. With that being said, feel free to join me in the comment section down below and give me your thoughts on the following topics that we're going to discuss today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jose Matos, and I run Critical Condition Sports, in which, it's just pretty much a channel where I give you weekly takes on different NFL and NBA topics. I also interview different people on the Critical Condition Sports podcast, so if you're into that kind of stuff, please feel free to subscribe. So now let's get to the topic today. So today what we're going to be going over is now why the person with the most amount of pressure, at least when it comes to the AFC side of things, is Baker Mayfield. If you're the Cleveland Browns and you're Baker Mayfield, this is a week where you know what your future is. The pressure's officially on Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has to show up and win because of the fact that this is what you get a number one quarterback, your leader, your franchise guy, to be able to lead your team. This is the kind of game where you need him to step up for that team. Reports earlier this week show now that Kevin Stefanski will not be able to coach because of COVID, and he tested positive along with another coach and some other players. Mainly, the key player in this was Joel Bitonio, who is their starting left guard. So that's not good right there. So again, for Baker Mayfield, this is the week. Baker's career comes down to this week right here. Your head coach is out. One of your top offensive linemen is out. I don't want to hear excuses here, because all I've heard from some of my good old buddies up in Cleveland, some of the Browns fans that are coming out of nowhere, is the fact that Baker's the guy, sign him to the extension. But let's be honest here. When the games have gotten tough and when you play some tough opponents, yeah, I know they beat Tennessee, they got no defense. When you're going up against top 10 defenses like Baltimore and Pittsburgh and getting blown out, that shows who you really are. In life, everyone's perfect when things are calm and there's no pressure and everything's moving so smooth. But when times get tough, how do you react against adversity? How are you able to overcome it? That's the knock on Baker Mayfield. It's not that he's not that good. He's good. He can win football games. He proved that this season. But it's, can he take your team to the next level? Can he win when he matters? I saw the games against Baltimore and Pittsburgh earlier this year. Blowouts. They didn't look good against the Pittsburgh's backups. Mason Rudolph is trash, and that game was still close, and they almost lost that game. Sure, I know that Baker's not playing against Mason, but TJ Watt was out. Steelers backups were in. They had nothing to play for, and they struggled. That's very alarming here. I don't want to hear excuses that, he doesn't have his coach, he's missing a starting offensive lineman. Folks, Russell Wilson can overcome certain things. I'm not sure Patrick Mahomes is. That's another conversation for later, but Russell Wilson is able to overcome things. And I'm not saying that Baker Mayfield or everyone else can be Russell Wilson, nor they should be. Baker's not demanding that kind of money or anything like that. But he thinks he's better than what he really is. Cleveland fans think he's better than what he really is, and that's not really the case here. I'm going to give you all my predictions for the game in another video, but, to spoil that one for you, I think this is a blowout. I don't think it's close, and I feel like Cleveland and, as an organization is going to really realize that Baker's not the solution in this whole thing. If Baker Mayfield goes out there and puts up an absolute stinker, if you're Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, think to yourself, this is not the guy. It's very important to inform everybody that Baker's on his third year of that rookie contract, which means that their deadline for accepting that fifth-year option under his contract is coming up. It's going to make that decision just a little bit harder, but at the same time easier, because Baker Mayfield can overcome dysfunction. He can't overcome instability. He can't overcome having a bad roster. And that's going to be very important to actually point that out when it comes to this. That's just my take. I think that he's in for a rude awakening, and if there's ever a time for Baker to step up and be able to show what he's got, it's this weekend right here in order to save his career. Now let me shift to this. So I wasn't on the Jalen Hurts train telling everybody that he should replace Carson Wentz. I think it's ridiculous to assume that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback option than Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz is by far more talented than him. He's stronger than him, bigger than him, can throw a better football than him. I don't think Jalen's game truly translates well into the NFL. I've told some of my buddies this earlier this year that if you're a quarterback and your number one, course of action is to go to your feet, it doesn't really bode well. I've always thought of Jalen Hurts as kind of a scrambler. I feel like he can't play well from behind. I feel like if you ask him to make some tough throws, he can't really make them. And there's a very big difference between him and Carson Wentz. I feel like Carson Wentz can make the throws. I think it's unfair for a lot of people to judge him because of all the injuries he's had to put up with Philly. And plain and simple, he stunk this year. He did stunk. It happens. Okay? There has been some inconsistency there ever since Frank Reich left. But are we really convinced that it's more Carson Wentz, or is it Doug Peterson, the coach? This past Sunday, the Philadelphia Eagles are taking a lot of heat. And more importantly, Doug Peterson is when he pulled out Jalen Hurts and put in Nate Sudfeld when they were still clearly within the game. And Doug Peterson still trying to tell everybody to blow smoke up everyone's butt and telling them that they were playing to win. That doesn't make sense. So are we really sure that the problem is Carson Wentz here more than Doug Peterson is? I can say that for Doug Peterson, everything's really got off the rails since Frank Reich left. Sure, again, it's very easy to point at the quarterback. But if we've come to realize anything in this league is that coaching matters. Again, I want to talk about Baker Mayfield and how he struggled under Freddie Kitchens. You get a competent, good coach like Kevin Stefanski, and you can see some of the things that he can do. Not saying he's over the top. I definitely do think that Carson Wentz is more talented than Baker, but coaching does matter. Okay? So I'm not convinced in the course of action being to trade away Carson Wentz, nor I think they do trade Carson Wentz. I feel like they're going to keep him. I feel like they'll figure it out. I feel like Philadelphia would be such a fool as a front office and an organization to get rid of such a talented quarterback. Yes, I understand. Turnover prone. Struggle under pressure. Maybe it's in his head. I'm not sure. But can we start to look at Doug Peterson and really say, hey, you've done everything you can to really be behind your quarterback? There's drama with Nick Foles. He's not even handling Jalen Hurts right. I mean, come on. At some point, we really got to start turning into that coach and really question whether it's Carson or him. That's just my take right there. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave it a like. And if you enjoyed content like this, feel free to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.